Good afternoon, folks. This is Byron Jones with Recruit 804, and today I'm with Dinwiddie football head coach Billy Mills. We're doing a special feature on a great American that we once knew. His name is Mr. Chase Prasnicki, who Coach Mills coached in high school at Rockbridge County, and who I played with there before he went on to West Point and subsequently lost his life in June of 2012 while serving overseas. So, Coach Mills, we appreciate you sitting down for this, and we'll just start from the top. Tell me a little bit about the first time you met Chase, and what did you see in him then?
We had a quarterback receiver camp for the middle school kids and youth in the area at Lexington. Really just looking for our next quarterback, try to get them in a line of succession. And a young man, just really stood out to us. Wasn't very big at the time, about 160 pounds, but liked the way he carried himself. And I guess that's the first time I met Chase. He became our JV quarterback that year, and I guess all the way through to his ninth grade year. Just liked the way he attacked the game and wanted to get better. And he's a very coachable young man, and very competitive and very passionate. So I guess those are the first things that stuck out to me. Kind of made you laugh. Chase had a way of goofing around sometimes, and we went to some quarterback camps, and he kind of took everything you said to heart. And I told him he was too small and needed to eat. And I remember took him to all-you-can-eat seafood restaurant. And we sit in that restaurant. I think it was me and Scott Branch, and I think there's one more quarterback there, maybe Ian. We sit there for 2 hours waiting on Chase to finish eating. I mean, it's like he was never going to, I thought they was going to throw us out. But, kid worked his tail off, and, everything you told him to do, took it to heart. I remember, told him he had to gain that weight. And, I think he was a sophomore, freshman. He's 185. I think he finished his graduated as 225. But Chase always carrying that bag of food around, and always working and eating, and trying to do what you asked him to do as a coach. I mean, he was a blessing to coach, but he was a true competitor on the field. A leader. I talk to my guys all the time about leadership is elevating those around you. And he definitely did that every day.
So, speak to a little bit about the relationship you guys had, on the field, obviously as coach. But I remember times in high school, you and Chase would have a lot of one-on-one meetings in the office. But just tell us a little bit about what he meant to you in that respect, to kind of have those kind of meetings and that extra relationship.
I love that kid. It's I can remember when I first found out that he had passed. Came right home and threw that Fort Defiance game in, just bawled like a baby. Because you do, as a position coach, and the head coach and the position coach with the quarterbacks, you do spend a lot of time together, and try to, not just make them a better football player, but help them through life, help them grow to be a great man. Of course, he had great parents, and I didn't have to do a whole lot there, but sometimes you can talk to a coach when you can't talk to a parent. And, we did have those times. Sometimes they weren't so delightful. When he'd stray off, and he had some girl problems in high school, and we had to deal with from time to time. But he was a well-loved young man. It's just a daily process of trying to be a better player on and off the field, be a leader. Really ask him to be a leader of men. He was just then turning 9th, 10th grade. We were asking him to lead seniors because he started his 10th grade year. So, it was that whole process of helping him grow. the hardest thing I ever did was telling him I was going to have to leave. It was hard to leave him going into his senior year, but I knew he was going to succeed. Well after I was gone.
So just to backtrack a little bit, that was actually my next question was, and you kind of went into a little bit of it, but what was your most memorable story or there was a play about Chase, and you had mentioned the Fort Defiance game. Talk to the viewers a little bit about what happened with that game and what makes it always stick out to you.
Well, we had our goal that year. I think that was as 04. I think that was my fourth or fifth year there. We had never beat what we called the Big Three altogether, which was Turner, Ashby, Fort Defiance, and Harrisonburg, and that was our goal. We had many a talk about that, and that was kind of what we had on the board. That was our mantra. And, we'd never beat Fort Defiance. They just had our number. They beat us in the playoffs in 02 twice. They beat us in 02, and we just never could get over the hump of those guys. And it looked like it was headed down that same road. We were having trouble getting things going offensively. And, we played defense pretty well, but we gave up a couple of big plays and found ourselves down at the end of the game. I think we were down it was less than a touchdown. I remember calling our last timeout, and, it was fourth and a half a yard. I mean, it wasn't even a full yard. And Fort Defiance was well known for running the football. They had a really good running game. And, even in the back of my mind, you didn't want to think it, but you're like, this might be it, Not sure if we could get this done. And, I can just remember Chase was as the defensive huddle there, Chase jumps into the huddle and is like, yelling at Pookie like, I need the ball. Get me the ball back. Just give me the ball back. And, Pookie said, can I go over the top? And I'm like, yeah, whatever you need to do to get it done. In the back of my mind, knowing it might be futile, but like I said, Chase brought everybody around him up a level. And Pookie jumped over top the center, hit the running back as he was getting the ball. Knee went down. Chase got the ball. Less than 2 minutes left in the game. And, I remember first down. I can't remember exactly what happened on first down, but I remember second down we get sacked. And it's like 3rd and 15 or 4th and 15. And he made a great throw to Opie, Brian Sandridge, and Brian made an incredible catch. And Chase took us right down the field, left, right. I think he made a throw to Hopper, Brandon Jarvis here as well, and then I can still remember him rolling out on that last play. Now it must have been maybe 20-some seconds. I think they had one play they got to get in, so it wasn't much time because we didn't have no timeouts. And I saw him turn the corner, and I knew he wasn't going to throw it. And he went in kind of sideways, cockeyed, and ran over a couple of guys and scored. He just willed us to that win. And as he did 9 times that year, which just says a lot about who he is, who he was. He's just a incredible leader. And as you called me about doing this interview, I started looking back and looking at the videos, the YouTube videos, and hearing everybody talk about him and the things that he done and the way he, it's just even through the military. I mean, he was the same guy. He's always bringing out the best in others, and just you tell kids to play for their teammates, but you could tell really, truly, deep down that he definitely did that. If he cared about all those accolades that he got, he didn't let on. But he loves seeing his teammates and his team succeed. He's a great young man.
So, Coach, that day that you found out, Chase had been killed in action, talk about a little bit of the emotions that you felt right away that hit you.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was in shock. I was with my sons on a Boy Scout camp out week or whatever, and Coach White, Jason, called me up, told me that what had happened, and I just couldn't believe it, and he got in, he started telling me the details, and it was just sad, just sad that someone so young with so much to give, so much left, taken from us so early. And like I said, I kind of, it was in the back of my mind. I was thinking about it when I got home, and I went and got that videotape of that game and threw it in there. And after I watched that, I just broke down. It's truly sad. Too young, way too young.
So, Coach, last question, and I'll let you go, but what are some of the intangibles about Chase as a student and an athlete that you can recall that you would like to share with today's kids, in our area, Recruit 804 and even the 757 in Northern Virginia, kids need to know a little bit about who he is and what set him apart to be the leader and the student that he was.
He was just relentless and passionate about everything that he did. You give him something to accomplish, and he just attacked it, 110% every day, poured himself into it, whether it be leadership or whatever it is. He was always wanting to be better, and competitive. It didn't matter who was across the ball from him. He was going to give everything he could to help his team win. Leadership, especially when it comes to leading by example. He did all the things. So I always tell my kids, the first lesson in leadership is you have to serve and you have to lead by example. And he did that every day. Whether it be coming to workouts or whether it's during the workout, he was one of those young men that you could turn your back on and know that the job was going to get done. You didn't have to watch him. You didn't have to look after him. And in fact, he was always looking after, the rest of the team. He was like a coach within the team. Always with a smile on his face. Just a great personality. One of those guys that made you happy when he walked in the room. He just made you smile. Like I said, I love that young man.
Well, thank you, Coach, for that interview, and we wish you all the best against GW Danville on August 30th.
Thank you. Appreciate it.